Good evening, my empowered friends. Let's settle into this moment because what I'm about to share has the potential to transform the way you see yourself and your relationships. Today, we're unpacking a truth that runs deep in the fabric of human connection. Authenticity is the foundation upon which genuine connections are built, connections that stand the test of time. In a world that often tries to mold us into someone else's expectations, choosing to be yourself requires great courage. Yet, it's this very courage that forms the bedrock of relationships that thrive. When you present yourself authentically, you invite others to see you not the version they expect, or the one you think they want to see, but the true essence of who you are. This openness creates a space for real, unfiltered connections. The beauty of authenticity lies in its power to attract like-minded individuals who resonate with your truth. These are the people who don't need you to be anything other than your most honest self. They embrace you with all of your flaws, your uniqueness, your dreams, and your vulnerabilities. When you're authentic, you aren't trying to fit into someone else's mold, you are carving your own path. And in doing so, you create the most lasting bonds because they are based on mutual respect, genuine admiration, and an unwavering sense of trust. Relationships built on authenticity go beyond surface-level interactions. They allow you to share your real thoughts, fears, and desires without fear of judgment or rejection. Authenticity invites honesty. And with honesty comes transparency. It's through this transparency that true intimacy and understanding are fostered. Without it, relationships are shallow, marked by unspoken walls that keep people from truly connecting. What's more, when you are true to yourself, you stop seeking validation from others. Instead, you develop a sense of internal validation that makes you more secure in your relationships. This shift creates an environment where both you and others can be vulnerable, knowing that you won't be judged or dismissed for simply being human. And that's when the real magic happens, the kind of connection that doesn't break when the storms of life hit, because it was built on the solid ground of authenticity. Over time, the world changes, people grow, and circumstances shift. But when a relationship is rooted in authenticity, it becomes timeless. It's a bond that's not easily broken by misunderstandings or challenges. Instead, these connections evolve. They learn to adapt and grow together, deepening as the individuals within them continue to grow. Authenticity doesn't just create lasting bonds, it sustains them through all of life's seasons. It allows people to navigate difficult moments with grace, knowing that the foundation of their connection remains unshakable. Being authentic is not just about being true to others, it's about being true to yourself. When you live authentically, you stop pretending to be something you're not. And in doing so, you find the freedom to truly connect with others. And that's the type of relationship that stands the test of time. It's the one that remains regardless of life's twists and turns because it was built on the unwavering strength of truth and the courage to be vulnerable. Confidence is a magnet that draws people in, not because of some external show of perfection, but because of the quiet strength and self-assuredness that comes from within. It's not about looking flawless, speaking perfectly, or constantly striving to meet an unattainable ideal. True confidence stems from a deep, unwavering belief in your own worth and abilities, regardless of any imperfections you may have. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't need validation from others because it is rooted in an internal sense of peace and assurance. When you walk with confidence, you carry a certain energy that tells others that you are at ease with who you are. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. And that's incredibly magnetic. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence because they sense that you are comfortable in your own skin. And that comfort provides a sense of safety and security. You are no longer measuring yourself against someone else's standards, and that freedom is palpable to others. It invites them to do the same, to embrace their own flaws and strengths, to be comfortable in their own skin. In a world that often values external achievements and appearances, true confidence cuts through the noise. It allows you to stand tall in a crowd without feeling the need to compete for attention. When you are confident, you attract people who appreciate the real, unfiltered you. They see the value in your authenticity, in your ability to navigate the world with self-assurance, and they feel empowered by your example. Confidence doesn't require perfection, it thrives on your ability to accept and even celebrate your imperfections, because it's in that acceptance that true strength lies. Confidence also doesn't come from never making mistakes. On the contrary, it flourishes when you can look at your missteps with grace and learn from them without allowing them to define you. It's about being okay with not having all the answers and not needing to be right all the time. People are magnetized to those who own their mistakes, learn from them, and move forward with greater wisdom. This type of confidence is relatable, human, and deeply attractive because it shows others that it's okay to be imperfect and still be worthy of love and respect. In contrast, the pursuit of perfection often creates a barrier. It's exhausting and unrealistic to constantly strive for something that doesn't exist. And this pressure can create anxiety, self-doubt, and insecurity. The more we chase perfection, the more we separate ourselves from our true selves. Confidence, however, invites imperfection into the equation. It allows you to show up day after day as you are, flaws and all, and still feel proud of what you bring to the table. It's this authenticity, this freedom from the chains of perfection that makes you magnetic. When you embrace your confidence, you are no longer waiting for the world to tell you that you're enough. You know it already. You understand that your worth isn't tied to how well you perform or how closely you adhere to someone else's idea of perfect. Instead, you stand firm in your value as a person, someone worthy of love, respect, and success no matter what. It's this sense of inner peace that others find magnetic. They see you not as someone to be admired from a distance, but as someone they can relate to, someone who can help them feel comfortable in their own skin. Your confidence gives others permission to stop hiding behind masks and to show up as they are too. And that is where real connection happens. When you walk with confidence, you not only magnetize others toward you, you inspire them to step into their own light, to embrace their own confidence, and to know that they too are worthy of love and success, just as they are. Empathy and understanding are the cornerstones of emotional safety in any relationship. These qualities serve as the foundation for building a space where both individuals feel seen, heard, and valued without fear of judgment or rejection. At its core, empathy is the ability to truly step into another person's shoes, to understand their feelings and perspectives from a place of genuine care. Understanding is the extension of that empathy, where we not only acknowledge what the other person is going through, but we respond in ways that demonstrate our commitment to their emotional well-being. When empathy and understanding are present, emotional safety is established. This means that both partners in a relationship know that they can express themselves without fear of being misunderstood, belittled, or criticized. It's a space where vulnerability is encouraged, not feared. When we feel emotionally safe, we open up to one another in ways that we wouldn't if we were worried about how our emotions might be received. We can share our deepest thoughts, fears, and desires, trusting that the other person will listen with compassion and without judgment. Empathy goes beyond just listening. It requires us to connect with the emotions behind the words. It's about acknowledging what the other person is feeling, whether it's pain, joy, frustration, or fear. And it's not about trying to fix their problems or offer solutions immediately. Empathy is about being present with them in that moment, offering them the space to feel whatever they are feeling without rushing to make it better. When we meet someone's emotions with understanding, it tells them that they are not alone in their experience. It tells them that their emotions are valid and that they matter. This creates a sense of security in the relationship, knowing that they won't be abandoned or dismissed when they express themselves honestly. Understanding is the natural extension of empathy. Is when we take the time to not just hear, but truly understand the other person's perspective. It's one thing to acknowledge someone's feelings, but it's another to deeply grasp the reasoning behind those feelings. Understanding requires patience, a willingness to listen without interrupting, and an openness to seeing the world from someone else's vantage point. It's about going beyond our own biases, assumptions, and judgments and allowing ourselves to fully comprehend what the other person is experiencing. This understanding lays the groundwork for compassion and helps us respond in ways that make the other person feel truly cared for. In relationships where empathy and understanding are present, communication flourishes. When we feel emotionally safe, we are more likely to express ourselves openly and honestly, knowing that we will be met with respect and kindness. Misunderstandings are less frequent because both individuals are invested in truly hearing each other, not just waiting for their turn to speak. Even in moments of conflict, empathy and understanding allow us to approach the situation with a mindset of resolution rather than defensiveness. We can disagree without attacking because we know that the other person's feelings and perspectives are just as valid as our own. Creating emotional safety through empathy and understanding also strengthens trust. Trust is built over time, and it's nurtured by consistent, compassionate responses to one another's emotional needs. When someone feels that their emotions are being respected and valued, they are more likely to trust the other person with their heart. They know that their feelings won't be trivialized or disregarded. This trust deepens over time, creating a solid foundation that can weather the ups and downs that inevitably come with any relationship. Moreover, emotional safety is not a one-time effort, it requires ongoing practice. It's about creating a culture within the relationship where both individuals prioritize each other's emotional needs. It's about checking in regularly, being attuned to each other's moods and feelings, and making a conscious effort to respond with care. Over time, this practice of empathy and understanding fosters a relationship where both people feel supported, respected, and safe to be their authentic selves. When emotional safety is present, a relationship becomes a haven, a place where both individuals can recharge, heal, and grow together. They are no longer weighed down by the fear of emotional harm, and as a result, they can connect with each other on a deeper, more meaningful level. Empathy and understanding are not just about what we do for others, they are about creating an environment where both people feel loved, appreciated, and truly seen. And that is the foundation for any lasting, fulfilling relationship. Purpose-driven actions serve as a beacon, guiding not only our own lives but also the relationships we form. When we live with purpose, we operate from a place of intention, direction, and clarity. This sense of purpose influences everything we do, from the choices we make to the way we engage with others. It's not about following a set of predefined steps. It's about aligning our actions with our values, our passions, and our vision for the future. This kind of living is magnetic because it shows the world that we are not simply drifting through life, waiting for things to happen. Instead, we are actively creating a life that reflects who we truly are and what we stand for. When we live with purpose, we attract relationships that mirror that same drive. People who are also focused on their own purpose are naturally drawn to others who share that sense of intention. Purpose-driven individuals don't waste time with superficial connections. They seek depth, alignment, and shared values. This is what makes relationships built on purpose so powerful. There is an understanding that both people are on their own journeys, but they are traveling in the same direction. They are working towards something bigger than themselves, and that shared vision creates a unique bond that is often stronger and more enduring than those formed on mere attraction or convenience. Purpose-driven actions are also rooted in integrity. When we are driven by a purpose, our actions are consistent with our values. We don't compromise who we are or what we believe in to fit into someone else's narrative. This integrity creates trust, which is the foundation of any strong relationship. People are drawn to others who live authentically, who make decisions with clarity and conviction, and who act in ways that align with their words. When you show up as someone who consistently follows their purpose, you create a space where mutual respect and admiration can flourish. Others can rely on you because they know you are grounded in something real, something that isn't swayed by fleeting emotions or circumstances. Furthermore, purpose-driven actions create a sense of fulfillment that naturally spills over into the relationships we form. When we are living in alignment with our purpose, we experience a sense of contentment and inner peace. We are no longer looking for validation from others because we find that fulfillment within ourselves. This inner fulfillment allows us to show up fully for the people in our lives, offering them the same sense of stability and direction. We don't need others to complete us or make us feel whole. We come to relationships as whole individuals, bringing our full selves to the table. This level of self-sufficiency makes us more attractive to others because we are no longer dependent on them for our happiness. Instead, we offer them the gift of shared growth, a partnership built on mutual respect and support. Living with purpose also encourages us to engage with others who are equally passionate about growth and impact. When we are focused on something greater than ourselves, we naturally seek out people who are on a similar path, those who have their own dreams, aspirations, and sense of purpose. These connections are often more fulfilling because they are based on shared goals and values, not on external factors like status, appearance, or social convenience. The relationships formed in this way are often deeper and more meaningful because they are based on mutual admiration and respect for one another's journeys. When we make purpose-driven decisions, we also become more mindful of the energy we bring into our relationships. We no longer invest time and effort in situations or people that don't align with our values. Instead, we prioritize relationships that uplift, inspire, and challenge us to become better versions of ourselves. This intentional approach to relationships means that we are more likely to form connections that are fulfilling, supportive, and meaningful. We are no longer settling for relationships that drain us or hold us back. Instead, we are actively seeking out those that propel us forward and allow us to live in alignment with our purpose. In essence, purpose-driven actions act as a filter for the people and relationships that come into our lives. They attract others who are also driven by purpose, creating a community of individuals who support each other's growth and success. These relationships are marked by a sense of alignment, trust, and mutual respect because they are rooted in something real and meaningful. When you live with purpose, your actions not only lead you to your own goals, they also guide you to the people who will help you realize your fullest potential. A woman who knows her worth radiates a quiet, undeniable power that speaks louder than words. She doesn't seek validation from others because she has already found her own value. She doesn't settle for less than she deserves because she understands that her worth is not determined by anyone else's perception of her. It's inherent in who she is, and this knowledge shapes everything she does. She's not swayed by the opinions of others, nor does she try to fit into a mold that society or anyone else has created for her. She has built a strong, unshakable foundation within herself, one that is grounded in self-respect, self-love, and a deep understanding of her intrinsic value. When a woman knows her worth, she doesn't need to prove anything. She doesn't seek to be admired or adored because she is already whole. Her confidence isn't born from comparison or competition with others, but from the understanding that she is everything she needs within herself. She recognizes her strengths, acknowledges her weaknesses, and yet embraces herself as worthy of love, success, and respect. This unwavering self-assurance creates an energy that is magnetic. People are drawn to her because they can feel the strength and peace that come from knowing who she is and what she stands for. She exudes a kind of self-respect that demands respect from others, not because she demands it, but because she commands it simply by being herself. This knowingness is not arrogance, it is the result of years of growth, introspection, and self-acceptance. She has worked hard to get to a place where she no longer questions her value, and in doing so, she becomes a beacon for others. When people encounter a woman who truly knows her worth, it's not just about her confidence, it's about the way she makes them feel. She sets a standard for others to honor their own worth. Without ever uttering a word about it, she shows others what it looks like to live authentically, to respect oneself, and to never settle for less than what one deserves. She serves as a mirror for those around her, reflecting back to them the truth of their own inherent value. In relationships, a woman who knows her worth sets clear boundaries that protect her energy and well-being. She teaches others how to treat her not by demanding it, but by demonstrating what she will and will not tolerate. She understands that she is worthy of love, respect, and kindness, and she doesn't allow anyone to treat her in ways that contradict that. By honoring herself in this way, she encourages those around her to honor themselves as well. She shows them that it is not only okay to demand respect and kindness, but that it is essential to live a life of integrity and self-respect. She doesn't settle for half-hearted love or half-hearted efforts, because she knows that real love, whether romantic, platonic, or familial, should reflect the same level of respect and care that she gives to herself. This self-assurance doesn't just inspire others to respect her, it also inspires them to elevate their own standards. Women, in particular, may see her as a role model, someone who shows them that it is possible to stand firm in their worth without feeling the need to shrink, settle, or compromise. When women witness another woman standing in her truth and owning her worth, they are reminded of their own strength and value. Her example encourages them to look inward and rediscover the parts of themselves that they might have neglected, forgotten, or undervalued. It becomes a ripple effect when one woman understands her worth. She inspires others to do the same, creating a community of women who lift each other up by honoring themselves. For men, a woman who knows her worth sets a standard for how they should treat women in general. She shows them that they cannot get by with superficial gestures or empty promises. They must approach her, and by extension, all women, with the same level of respect, understanding, and appreciation that she gives to herself. She teaches them that love isn't about possession or control, but about mutual respect and admiration. She doesn't settle for anything less than a partnership that honors both individuals equally. Through her actions, she teaches those around her that love, whether romantic or otherwise, should be rooted in a deep respect for each person's individuality, autonomy, and worth. A woman who knows her worth does not wait for others to validate her. She creates her own worth in the way she lives, the way she carries herself, and the way she treats others. She is the embodiment of self-respect, and in doing so, she cultivates an environment where others are inspired to respect themselves as well. Her very presence speaks volumes, encouraging others to honor their own value and embrace their own worth with the same confidence and clarity that she does. In this way, her knowingness becomes a gift not just to herself, but to the world around her. In conclusion, a woman who knows her worth becomes a powerful force, not only in her own life, but in the lives of those around her. She exudes a quiet strength rooted in self-respect, authenticity, and a deep understanding of her value. Through her actions, she inspires others to honor their own worth, setting a standard for how relationships should be built on mutual respect, self-love, and equality. Her presence encourages others to stand confidently in their truth, to set boundaries, and to demand the love and respect they deserve. By living authentically and unapologetically, she creates a ripple effect that elevates everyone she encounters, leaving a lasting impact that transcends her individual journey and shapes the world around her.